to it. Hopefully this runs really smoothly this time around. Let's go. Character sheet first. First part. Sorry about that. We got 34 points in the magic, 30 points in the health. Our maximum attributes are a maximum magic, close to 19, health 38, stamina close to 18. Recoveries are 14 for magic, 7 health, 11 stamina. If I pop a potion, they go higher. 18, 9, and close to 15. All right. Damages are at 4,400. Crit 23. Spell pin really low, 700. Spell resist 28. Physical 28. And crit is now close to 2,500. If I golded out my gear, it would probably be close to right at 2,500. Okay. Attributes like we said earlier. Magic is split between magic and health, mostly in magic. We're doing that because all of our skills are based on magic. Next. You can see a huge list of buffs here. That's all because we're wearing the Oaken Soul Ring. I'll get into that towards the end. Hopefully I don't mess that up either. Oaken Soul Ring gives us all these buffs with the drawback of only being able to use one bar. We cannot bar swap. Okay. Next, back to character sheet. Food is Jewels of Misrule. Why? Because I like recoveries in both stamina and magic. Because really we could do with less stam and more magic recovery if we needed to, and go with, let's say, a red Frothgar. But because our main heal right now is vigor and we have to break free and roll dodge in PvP, I do like to have quite a bit of stamina. We're also going to be blocking and bashing a little on this build. You have to block and bash in PvP here and there as well. So having a good bit of recovery in both is not a bad thing. Alright, so again, Jewels of Misrule. Next, the only other thing on this sheet that really is super important is the boon, which is our Mundus Stone, which is the Atronach. So go ahead and get yourself the Atronach on this, and I'll give you more mag recovery because all of our damage skills are magic based. Speaking of skills, let's get into that. We're going to go start off with the Ardent Flame skill tree line. Go ahead and get all of the passives that you like. They all help do either recovery here and damage. This will slow your opponents. We don't necessarily need this one. You could take it out if you'd like because we don't have any damage over time. We're not using any of the damage over time effects from this skill tree, so you could leave this off, save you some skill points. And then this is fine because we are doing flame damage with everything. Our skills in this tree line are Flames of Oblivion. This is a choice. You can choose to use it or not use it. Chains of Devastation. When you're in PvE, you want to switch this from Chains of Devastation to the other chain, which pulls your opponents to you instead of you to the opponent. The last one in this skill tree is Flame Lash, which we use, which is the all magic version. If you hit an off-balance enemy, that off-balance enemy will be... if you hit a stunned or immobilized, stunned or immobilized enemy, that enemy will be then set off balance. Every time you attack an off-balance enemy, you will be able to heal while whipping that person or that enemy. Where can I go to find some guys I can show you? Next. That's all from the Ardent Flame skill line, which is the first skill line in the Dragonknight skill trees. The next skill tree we're going to use is the Draconic Power skill tree. We're going to go ahead and get all the passives. Iron Blood to mitigate damage that we can block. Burning Heart increases your ability to receive healing by 12% while you have a Draconic ability active. You don't necessarily have to take this one because we're not going to be using the Draconic ability of our Spiked Armor, which is one of our most, or even Coagulating Blood, because this can be active for 20 seconds as well. So we're not using either one of those. Not as big of a deal. Really cool if you wanted to use it, but we're not going to, okay? Next, Elder Dragon. You can get this. You don't have to. Again, this is optional. You You can have 0 points in either one of those two in this particular case for the PvP version of this build. You do want that last one, which is physical and spell resistances increased. What are we using from this skill tree? When it comes to just being in PvP, we're only going to use the Draw Essence version. Okay, we just tested the other day whether or not Draconic Coagulating Blood was going to be important or useful for us. It is not on this build specifically because we don't have a huge health pool. Okay? Our Vigor is doing better healing than the... let's just do a real quick comparison. So here's Vigor. Well, yeah, we're going to click on Vigor. Let's go put them side by side, right? Resolving Vigor, 17,000 health over 5 seconds. Plus it gives us more physical and spell resistance. On the left, you have Coagulating Blood, 9,665 as a base and a 50% increase, which could get up to, let's say, 13 or 14,000. Again, still not the same amount of healing that we're getting on the base heal for Resolving Vigor. So we're going to stay with Vigor on this case, okay? I'll tell you where to get that in just a minute. So, the only ability we're going to use on this one is Draw Essence. And I'll show you a little bit about Draw Essence in just a second as well. Draw Essence is going to help to keep us alive in situations that are going to be outnumbered. And in PvP, you can be outnumbered quite a bit. With this build, what you would like to do is get into a crowd of people and then start using the skill, that particular Draw Essence skill. And the more outnumbered you are, as funny as it sounds, it's almost as if you are more survivable with more enemies. Okay? 3 enemies here. What I'm going to do is Draw Essence. Boom. And it shoots back out. Okay? Let me show you again. Draw Essence. I'm healing from every person there. Shoots back out. I'll do it one more time. Let's see how big our heal is. It's 4,200 every time we draw in. And it also backlashes out. Boom. There we go. Okay? Really cool skill. Next. We already talked about Flame Lash. It's our main spammable. Again, like it said at the very bottom, when targeting an off-balance or immobilized enemy, it turns into a Power Lash. What does Power Lash do? It does more damage, which is 9,000. It goes from 7,600 to 9,000 flame damage, and it heals you for 8,800 health. Okay, so you get a bigger heal out of it. Next, the last one we just talked about, which is Vigor. On the skill bar, where do you get Vigor from? You're going to go to the Alliance War. You're going to go to the Assault. It's the very first one on the Assault tree, Resolving Vigor. It's just starts out as Vigor itself, just plain Vigor. It's a yellow skill at first, or a yellow image at first. You're going to morph that to Resolving Vigor, not echoing on this particular build because we're fighting pretty much alone on this build, okay? We're not going to be fighting necessarily. We're not depending on a crowd being there with us or us trying to help heal our crowd around us, okay? The last skill or an ultimate on our skill tree here is from the Earthen Heart skill tree. That's the Corrosive Armor. Corrosive Armor is what we want to use all the time. It is our kind of like our main spammable to go along with everything else, but we're going to use it as quickly as possible. I just tested it yesterday. You can have this ultimate ready with this build every 10 seconds if you're using it correctly, maybe a little bit faster. 10 seconds. Okay, you go from, it's pretty much being unkillable, and you are penetrating their defenses as much as possible. What do you mean? Look at the bottom. While active, this ability and your direct damage dealt ignores enemies' physical and spell resistances. So all direct damage ignores physical and spell resistances when you have this activated. At the very top, if you keep reading also, it makes you pretty much unkillable at the same time. So you can do lots of damage and not get killed. Oxidize the green dragon blood in your veins, limiting incoming damage to 3%. That means every tick is only going to be a maximum of 3% of your entire health. And healing you, and dealing, 1,100 poison damage to all nearby enemies for 12 seconds. So you're unkillable for about 12 seconds, okay? The other skill from this skill tree is Fossilize. We're just going to use that as our main stun. These people are running around with you. You could, let's say, swap this out for Burning Talons, But in PvP, people get out of those talents pretty quickly, or they have some other method of getting out of it by either dodge rolling, or they have some sort of immovability pot up that allows them to kind of have a resistance to being stuck in place. Now, the fossilized is going to also be a little bit harder for them to get away from. So you pin them down, and then after they're pinned down, it usually takes them about a second to break free. In that second, if you can stack enough damage, they're going to be pretty close to dead, if not dead. Next, Eternal Mountain. You do want to take, I think, all of the passives in here. There may be one or two we're going to get away from, but let's see. Eternal Mountain increases your Earth and Heart abilities by 20%. Well, that's going to increase our corrosive armor. That means it'll last longer, right? It goes from whatever the base was to now 12 seconds. Okay, so it's probably 10 seconds to start. Next, Battle Roar. It's just super awesome because not only do you become very offensive whenever you pop your corrosive armor, but you heal and get all of your resources back. So you pop one of your corrosive armor, you get health. When you cast ultimate ability, you restore 55 health, 50 magic, 50 stamina for each point spent. So if it's 100, you're getting 5,000 of each, right? If it's 200, you're getting 10,000 of each. And I think the health part can crit whenever you pop it. Okay? Next, Mountain's Blessing. When you cast Earth ability, you and your group members gain minor brutality. Well, and you gain ultimate. Well, if we're able to cast fossilize on people, we'll have that benefit. You could substitute, fossilize if we just wanted to be tanky and not really out there stunning anybody for, let's say, Ash Cloud. Okay, and spam that as much as you want because it only casts, it only costs per second. It doesn't cost per cast, right? So it's a very easy replacement there for you, and it'll give you a little heal. It's a very little heal, especially in PvP because your heals are cut in half. So you would take this off. Place it, boom. Now you have access to minor brutality whenever you want. Just boom, throw it out there. Minor brutality, boom. Almost like a buff bar. Okay. Plus you stand in it and you get a little bitty heal. Now in PvE, that heal is gonna be better. PvP, not so much. Our boys are back here. All right. We don't have our stun ready, but oh look, he's off balance. Heal. You got some green numbers. Heal. Heal. Those are every hit was a heal, right? See if I can get one of these guys off balance again. Interrupted. Off balance. Heal. If you watch the numbers to the right. Yeah. Okay. Next. Battle Roar. Mountain Blessing. Helping Hand. When you cast an Earth and Heart ability, you restore 1100 stamina. So casting this, 1100 stamina. So let's see if that works. Yep, you can see my right. Dodge roll. As soon as I finish casting it, it pops up, right? Next. It cannot be a stamina ability from this tree. If it is a stamina ability, it will not count to help you regrow your stamina pool. Okay, next. That is it for those passives. The next passives you want to get all the passives from your one-headed sword and board, or one-handed shield skill tree, which is Fortress for reducing the cost of your abilities and reduces the cost of blocking. Super important. Next, this increases your weapon spell damage and the amount of damage you can block. Super important. Deadly Bash. You can bash for more damage and it costs 50% less. Super important for this particular setup. This increases the amount of damage you can block from projectiles. Awesome again. And the last one, your amount of speed when bracing is increased. Okay? Bracing is this right here. If you don't have those last 2 points, you'll be slow while blocking, which is not necessarily a huge problem, but it can be. I didn't take anything from these particular skills into the build because we're going to play. Our defense is built into our sets. Our offense is built into our skills. Okay? Next, I'm trying to get as many of these light armor passives as I can. Right now, I'm not doing a good job of leveling it because I only have one piece of light armor. But you want to get all of them. I mean, they're all going to be super cool and fun to have. Grace, it reduces the effectiveness on stairs and also reduces the cost of sprint. I mean, that's not super helpful, but you could use it, right? Why not? Evocation. This is super useful. For every piece of magic for light armor, you get more recovery, magic recovery. This one is important or helpful. More spell resistance for every piece that you wear. And I have all the medium armors, and I don't really need all of these. We'll go over the ones that you might want to have. 1 is dexterity for critical damage and critical healing. 2, Windwalker, which is stamina recovery and reduces the cost of your abilities, stamina abilities, by 2% for every piece that you have. Improved Sneak reduces the cost of Sneak by 7%. Don't really need this one. This is one you probably don't need, okay? Also reduces the size of your detection field. Don't need that either, right? Agility increases the weapon and spell damage for each piece 1. We have 1. Gives us 2%. And athleticism increases the movement speed by 3% while sprinting. Not bad. Reduces the cost of dodge roll. That's awesome. Okay, so if we could have 2 pieces of medium, that might even be better. You know, it's just going to screw up our magic and recovery. Next, the ones you want to have here is definitely the heavy armor ones. Increases resistances. Increases health recovery, which is not so important, but increases the amount that you restore from when you take damage. Each piece of heavy armor equipped helps you restore magic and stamina. This effect can occur once every 4 seconds. So every 4 seconds, we get an extra 500 resources from each pool. Every 4 seconds. Dragonknight increases your max health. Really important. More health, more heals. Harder to kill. Revitalize increases the magic or stamina your heavy attacks restore by 4% for each piece, 20%. So I can go over there and just go wagack. Get some stamina back if I'm smart. Normally I'm not. Rapid Mending increases your healing received. Perfect. Next, important skills. We don't usually find a guild. Let's see, what is Banish the Wicked? Nope. Well, you could use Banish the Wicked, right, for generating only when you have a fighter's guild ability slotted. We don't have any slotted, so no big deal. I like these passives for Undaunted. Whenever we synergize, we get bonuses for synergizing. 4% of your max stamina, health, and magic. And then this one is important because we have 1 piece of each. We have 1 light, 1 medium, and 5 heavy. And that gives us a current bonus of 6% added to all of our max stats, which is stamina, magicka, and health. So the health goes, everything goes up while having the Undaunted Metal. You want to have that one. Right here we talk about Resolving Vigor already. It's our main heal. We also want to have these passes for PvP. Continuous Attack increases magic and stamina recovery by 20% for 10 minutes after you capture a mind. Oh wow, that's great. I don't really read those, but that's awesome. Combat Frenzy, you gain more ultimate when you kill an enemy player. We're not going to take the magicka recovery because we don't have a support ability slotted. Increases your healing done. Combat Medic when you're near a keep. Reduces the time it takes for you to resurrect a player by 30% in PvP. Okay, everything else I think is pretty standard. I'll go into real quick, which is our Imperial. I'm an Imperial because it's going to reduce our overall ability costs, and it gives me a lot of max stats, 2,000 health and 2,000 stamina. I like the max stacks with the reduced costs. In that reduced cost effect also reduces the cost of our ultimate. We're really building into making our ultimates as easy to cast as possible. All right. Now let's go into what... Oh, we're not there yet, are we? Yeah, we're not there yet. Let's go into champion points now. Champion points. We have Ironclad for more direct, reducing direct damage taken. We have Resilience for increasing our critical resistance. We have Bulwark for increasing our physical and spell resistance while wearing a shield, which we do have. And we have Untamed Aggression, which I really like because that's a flat stat, right? It's a flat weapon and spell damage, which means it's also going to increase our heals. So it's going to increase the power of our vigor. Well, Brennan, how do you know that? Well, let's do a test real quick. This says 17394, right? Go ahead and over here. It does 2 things, right? This is one of the skill point tree accessory thingies that can be used offensively, ... and defensively. It's going to grant me weapon and spell damage, which means I'll do more damage in combat, and it increases our heals because our heal, vigor, is based off of our outgoing damage. So, how do I know it helps that? Let's go ahead and take it off the tree for a second. Let's replace it with something just to be silly. Let's go with From the Brink. We're going to take off Untamed Aggression. Right? It's off now. We're at 17,394. Or even just look at their heals here. Basic heal is 3,006. Let's reset. Yeah, I think it's set now. Nope. We're having some troubles here. Give me a second. Yeah, it's set. 3,006 was base. Oh, it didn't change. Hold on. We didn't actually change it. We wanted to, but we didn't get it done. Maybe we didn't change it from here. Okay, are we good now? What's going on? Okay. Now let's do the tips. Okay, our base is... What the hi-ya-yas? Well, I don't know why the heal is the same, but when I look at this here number right there, you see that? I don't know why it's not calculating correctly. The total number says 16,854, right? 16,854. Now I'm going to go back and put Untamed Aggression on. And that number should, guess what? Increase, right? It was 16,854. Now it is, looking at the skill, 17,394. We had a 500-point increase. The funny thing is, oh, here we go. There's our base, 3,102. So we went up by 100. But the bigger issue is going to be on a crit. Got it? And we can also build more into this if you wanted to play more offensively. What I would suggest is take some of the defenses off. If you don't want Ironclad, you're fine with taking the extra 6%, go right ahead. I would always keep Resilience, and I would always keep Bulwark. The only one I would take off would be Ironclad. And I would really, change... what happened? What the heck is going on? The only one I would change, if I wanted to make it different and like a better play for my build, is I'm going to increase my max magic here with this Arcane Supremacy. Let me pull some stats out here for a second, guys. Give me a second. Nope, those are all going to stay. Let's take that one out. Oh, sorry. And we're going to see it where our base is at 17,394, right? Now we're going to take that. We're going to take off Ironclad, put in Arcane Supremacy, right? Guess what? We're going to get a very... Our base here on the was a 3,102. It is now a 3,166. Because why? We increased our base Magicka. And our highest total of our offensive stats is our magic total. So by increasing our total magic a little more, we got even better heals. Okay, and let's go look at the reading now. It was 17 something, 17.3. Now it's 17.7, right? So we got 1,000 more heals out of doing those 2 slots. Okay. The next thing. That's our blue tree. Again, it's up to you if you like to play more offensive or more defensive. I'm going to go back and put on... Oh, gosh, dog. I'm going to go back and put on Ironclad. I do like to be more defensive for this play, okay? So I do like the Untamed Aggression, but this is how we're going to stay for now. Next, red tree is going to be Bracing Anchor to add more to our mitigation that we can block because we're a Dragonknight. We already have 10% from being one of our Dragonknight passives in the Draconic Power skill tree line. We're going to add to that 10% by adding another 20%. We're blocking Bracing Anchor, more blocking mitigation. Slippery because in PvP they're going to try to stun you just like we're going to try to stun them. And we're going to get out of that very easily because we have Slippery once every 20 seconds. Fortified, more armor, can't go wrong with that. Boundless Vitality, more health, can't go wrong with that. Okay, that's my recommendations for the red skill tree. All right, the next thing is finally, hopefully, we get all of this done. We got skills, we got champion points, we got character sheet, we got food, we got Mundus. Now let's get into what we are wearing. All right, let's get away from people so I don't have to keep fighting, because that'll be smart too. Inventory. We have Sword of Potentates. I've changed the glyph here. It is a weapon damage glyph. I will also advocate for the weapon damage glyph here because I think it's going to be important to, again, increasing our heals, right? Our heals are base, again, 3102. I'm going to pop him with that. It's going to give me access to my glyph. All right. And now my heal is... I'm an idiot. I'm going to try that again. Pop him in the mouth. And now my heal should be higher, right? 3200, which means it went from 3102 to 3200. Okay, so again, it's increasing our heal. So anytime we increase our weapon and spell damage, we're increasing our heals. You have a buddy who is running, you know, a healer in PvP, and he or she has spell power cure. You're also going to increase your individual heals when they're in group, if your heal is based off of your weapon and spell damage. Okay? Because some heals are built off your maximum health. Excuse me. All right. That's the first thing. Potentates. It's decisive. The reason why it's decisive is because we want to be able to build ultimate. You can change this if you want to play again. You know, into that weapon and spell damage, go right ahead. You have my blessing of potentates. I put decisive. I might go back and change it. I'm not sure yet. Okay? All right. It is reduces... okay, so that's my trait. I'm sorry. Now, let's go into why we wear potentates. I got it golded out. Why am I wearing potentates? Well, why potentates? Because I'm wearing 3 pieces of potentates. Reason why is part 1, or the first bonus, reduces your damage taken from players by 3%. Is that going to make you tanky? Absolutely. This is a very easy build to play in PvP for new PvPers, okay? Go ahead and reduce damage. Next, reduces the cost of our ultimate by 15%, which is going to allow us to cast more corrosive armors. Remember, we're wearing the Oaken Soul as well, which means we only have 1 bar, which is totally fine. This will be super easy in PvP to play. Okay, 1 bar, all these bonuses, and we have a cost reduction for wearing potentates on our ultimates. Okay? That's first. You guys are just asking for it, aren't you? All right. Next. We have a shield. Shield of the trainee. You do not want a training shield of the trainee. Okay? What I would recommend would be either infused or impin. Either one. Okay? Go ahead and what you'll need to do is get to your collections. This is what I would recommend. Go to items. Go down to miscellaneous. Go to starter zones. And pick up as many pieces of the armor of the trainee as humanly possible. I'll have a couple pieces I need to fill in. Fill in that armor of the trainee sticker book. And reduce the cost for, what's it called? Reconstructing. When you go to one of the reconstruction sites. And I'll go to one in just a minute with at my buddy's house, okay? Next, blood spawn. So we're already having reduced ultimates. Oh, real quick, why did I pick trainee? Because for wearing 1 item of trainee, right here you can see it says, adds 1,454 maximum health, which is going to build into our survivability in PvP. Okay? Alright, so sword potentates, shield trainee. My other potentates because Potentates is only a 3-piece set, you can only have weapons and jewelry. So my other Potentates are a necklace of Potentates and a ring of Potentates. All of my jewelry is infused with Magicka damage enchants, so I can have more Magicka recovery. Because my skills are all Magicka based, my damage skills. Okay? If I was smarter, well, this is fine. Yeah, it's fine. Either way is fine. Alright. Next, my next piece. And you know, you probably want to have, especially your monster set, golded out. I'm just an idiot. Next piece, blood spawns. You know, and I might even go 2 medium on my blood spawn. I'm not sure, but I don't know. Next piece, blood spawn, okay? Blood spawn. You see my character right here, how he's all gray and everything? That's because blood spawn, which is our monster set, has just activated. And when it activates, it automatically does 2 things. Well, first off, the first line says, add stamina recovery. What it does is when you take damage, you have a 6% chance to generate 13 ultimate. Now, if I have this leveled up, I think it's 14 or 15 if it's out gold, okay? 13 ultimate when you turn into stone. And you get more physical and spell resistances. Okay, so we're going to get spell resistances from our digger. Right, so now we're in the 3,000s, I'm guessing. 3,100 spell. Right, and then what's going to happen is whenever we get our blood spawn to activate, we get about 4,000 extra on top of that, which is perfect, okay? Good stuff. I have 1 max magic glyph on the head to give me more max magic so I don't run out.
What do you mean that?
Next, the next piece, oh, I'm sorry, and the 2 pieces are 1 medium head monster set, 1 light shoulder monster set. I have like that on purpose because the head will give me more armor as a medium piece and the shoulder will give me less as a shoulder piece. At least that's what I'm thinking. I may be wrong on that one. They may be exactly the same. So if you know if it's the same, go right ahead and tell me. The trait here, impin, shoulder, sturdy, because we block a lot, okay? You can change them up if you like. That's just what I recommend. Magic in the headpiece because you get more out of putting a magic piece there, and stamina on the shoulder. And we're using Magicka as our main damage dealing abilities. Next is our next piece of armor, our last armor set, which is Drake's Rush. We have health, stamina, and 5. When you bash, you and up to 3 group members. Anybody who's not in your group cannot take this benefit. So if you're in PvP solo, nobody else shares this benefit except for you because they're not in your group. Okay, so you bash. What happens? You get major heroism, gaining 3 ultimate every 1.5 seconds for 18 seconds. I'm sorry, for 12 seconds. It can occur once every 18 seconds. So that means you want to be bashing, you know, once every 18 seconds. To me, what that means is you're in combat, bash every once in a while. Okay, just to make sure you have it activated. That major heroism stacks with our benefit from the Oaken Soul, which is, where is it at? Minor heroism. So we're going to get 4 ultimate just for being in combat when we bash. Okay, not including getting ultimate from light attacking in combat, right? So you could light attack, bink. Well, let me cast this out first off. Now we have full penetration. Boom. 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 Okay. Awesome, right? When I light attack, I didn't do anything crazy right there. I'm going to get ultimate back. And because my front bar weapon is decisive, I'm going to also have an opportunity to stack gains. So as I gain, I have a chance to gain more than just the regular. So as you can see, just from light attacking, my ultimate's going up. And because I'm wearing decisive, it's going to have a chance to give even more than it would normally. Decisive again, what does decisive do? My front bar weapon. When you gain ultimate, you have a 27% chance to gain 1 additional ultimate. So that means no matter how you gain ultimate, It could be from Bloodspawn. It could be from major heroism. It could be from minor heroism. It could be from light attacks. That decisive is going to be stacking those ultimates in there for you supremely fast. Because the way things go here. And it doesn't necessarily have to be from you killing something. You're just in combat stacking ultimate without having to really accomplish anything. You're just in combat and therefore getting the ultimate. Okay? So, that's the pieces. Oh, and then going into the traits, we have health glyph on the chest, reinforced for more armor. We have, and I don't spend a lot, as you can tell, most of it's purple, right? We have health glyph on the waist, impin, sturdy on the gauntlets, health, impin on the greaves. Again, just health on all of the Drake's Rush pieces, and they're all impin except for the hands. Okay, I'll go over that again. All health on the body pieces that are Drake's Rush, all impin except, excuse me, for the hands and the chest. Chest is reinforced, hands are sturdy. So we're reducing our block costs overall by 7%. If we gold things, it'll be by 9%, which is, I mean, it's a good value to have, okay? One more time, the jewelry traits are infused traits with magicka damage enchants. You can go to weapon damage enchants, that's fine. Okay? We're looking again to get to those points where we have 19k magic, 18k stamina. You can bring your stamina total down a little bit if you want, because we have good regen. Up to you. Alright? The next part is we're going to go over how to work this in PvP. Alright. When I'm in PvP with this build, I don't necessarily have to go chasing fights. I'll just walk wherever I need to go. So if I want to go fight on a flag, I'll walk to the flag. If I want to go, you know, defend the front of a keep, I'll walk to the defense of the front of the keep. I'm not going to go chase kills. Alright? You can if you want to. This is not a kill chasing build. This is a I'm going to walk where I need to go and get my job done. Okay? Not in a rush. Well, when I am preparing to go into combat, because I'm built so defensively, I'm going to prepare my offense. How do I prepare my offense? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is just cast this little fireball. Flames of Oblivion. It's going to sit there with me. Hey, buddy. So he's guarding me, right? That flame can hit three different people at the same time. So, really cool skill. But let's show you what we're going to do when we face an enemy. Now, we already have our ultimate built up. If I need, my ultimate is really kind of like I'm going to go ahead and start killing things. You could spam it as often as you want. If I know I'm running into a situation where it's going to be really high damage, right when I walk out, like the front door of a keep, then I'm going to go ahead and pop it right away and try to build it. Okay? If I'm defending the front door of a keep. So, what is the damage combination? The damage combination is I want to have Flames of O going right away. Let's do it to these guys, right? Flames of O going right away. I'm going to next deep breath, stun, it blows up, and I'm going to whip. Okay? So one more time. I'm going to Flames of O. You can even do the deep breath ahead of time. You don't have to do it the way I did it. You can do Flames of O, deep breath, stun, whip. And you kind of want the whip and the flame ball to go off at the same time. Okay? Now, the flaming ball stays on your character, I think, for 15 seconds. Yeah, I think it's 15. Pop it, yeah, 15 seconds. Okay? So here we go again. We're going to go flame, deep breath ahead, grab one, and then start whipping. Right? The reason why I'm going to deep breath before I stun is because I want them to like have this damage stack going or about to happen to them without them knowing it right away. Okay? It's going to take 3 seconds for it to go off. It's 2.5, but you know what I'm saying. And when I have my corrosive, that combination is going to go hit really, really hard. So I'm going to run out here again. Oh, there's nobody out here because somebody's out here hunting all the bad guys. You bad guy hunting fools. Bro, no bad guys to kill. What's up, man? shucks. Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go again. We're gonna go flames, deep breath, stun, whip. You see when I whip when you stun? Wait a minute. Flames, deep breath, stun, whip. Yeah, and my whip and my explosion is going off at the same time. That's exactly what you want to happen. And also with the flaming ball, okay? So let's do it with the corrosive on, okay? Again, so you would go flame. If I'm doing it with corrosive, I'm gonna flames first, then corrosive, and then get into everything else, okay? Flames first, corrosive, deep breath, stun. Flames, corrosive, get in close, stun, whip. I don't know if you can tell, but we're doing gobs more damage here because we have no resistances to go through again. Combination. Combination is flames, deep breath, stun, whip. Oh, I'm learning something. Okay, you see that? What I'm noticing here is, and I need a bash in between two. If you want to, you can whip and then right into a bash. Okay. If you don't hit somebody with your, see what it used to happen was people would deep breath and then run up to a bad guy and it would pop. Thank goodness it doesn't do that. So deep breath while you're in combat. Whip, whip, bash. You can whip bash. That's a lot to remember, but if you can't remember to whip and bash, you know, no big deal. I don't remember how to do it half the time either. So deep breath, stun, whip, bash. Oh, whip and bash, bro. We do good bash damage, so do that too. Do it all. Give them the business. If you need a spammable for AoE situations, you can just go to keep spamming your Flames of Oblivion. Okay? And then we're going to get into the last and most important part, which is the, what is this called? Fashion. Yeah, the fashion part. Let's get into that fashion. Alright. Let's travel to my buddy's house and we'll talk about what clothes I have on. And then we'll be done for today. Where are you at? I'm so happy with the speed of the traveling right now. Used to be really, really long to get to anywhere. Alright, well, hopefully I can, this is new to me, hopefully I can find his dress shop, his Barbie dress-up shop somewhere. Come on. Alright, we're going. Yeah, I call this the Man at Arms build because I watched He-Man a lot as a kid. I loved it. And the artwork was fantastic, especially for the target group audience. I felt like it was great. Really, for me, I felt like it was really enjoyable. You're doing shit. No. Yes? Yes. Okay, outfit station. Equipment. Head is the Shield of Seneschal helmet, which is the medium armor piece. Shield of Seneschal helmet. Beautiful. The chest piece is the Moongrave Fane Cuirass. The colors, I don't remember the colors exactly. Does it tell us the colors? Can we just scroll through? I think it's this Bloodroot Wine. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Bloodroot Wine is the orange. And the green was probably this Ophidian Jade. That's darker, huh? It might be this one over here. This Drowned Cobalt. So either one of those. Okay. And then the shoulder I left is Bloodspawn. I just colored it with that same orange color we had here. The hands made it look like they were like leather with like the little fur tufts coming out of it. That's the Nord Bracers number 4 with a nice dark brown. The waist is, what is that? The Nord Belt 4 again. I wanted to have that same kind of like furry kind of look to it. Legs are same color as that I'm guessing it's that Obsidian Jade, yeah. The style is Breton. I like the way the Breton Greaves right here look kind of like heavy armor pieces as well, right? They're kind of like those slotted heavy armor pieces kind of stacked on top of each other. Last part I think is Nord again. Nord boots 4. It's got the fur on it. If you remember anything from He-Man, they kind of had that fur look to them. The mace here is the Imperial mace. I like the look of the mace. I think it's under hammers, right? Is that correct? Yeah, it's under hammers. Imperial mace. The shield is the Maelstrom motif shield. I love that. Looks awesome for Men-at-Arms. Kind of brings the whole build together, guys. The die here, I don't remember. It's going to be one of these rare ones. It's a nice, very shiny silver. I'm not sure it's one I did though. Okay, so might even be this one. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Hope you enjoyed the build. It is for people who are trying to get into PvP but don't feel like dying all the time. You can make any adjustments you want. These are just recommendations. Hope you're enjoying the game. Catch you next time.